Why would you even say my life as a reporter would be miserable?
Dennis, look at me. Take one hard look at where I am. Is this the way you want to end up? Locked away in a room, forgotten by everyone except for a parade of psychiatrists and neurosurgeons who think you're a fascinating case study?
No, you're wrong, Dad.
You haven't been forgotten. This is the kind of life I want for you? Do you think this dead end is the kind of dream I had for you when you were just a little boy?
Dad, you can't be
I wanted my boy to have a nice place with a wife and children of his own. I wanted you to have all the things that I was just too stupid or too blind or just too stubborn to achieve for myself.
Dad, you achieved a lot of things, wonderful things. You're a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist. You've got books on every library shelf in this country.
That's just exactly what I mean. My books are on the shelf, and I'm right there with them.
You've got columns published in every newspaper in this country, Dad. You can do it again.
Yes, but why, Dennis? What's the point? A paper is dead in 12 hours. It doesn't even live a full day. And when it's gone, people wrap fish in it and use it for the coffee ground.
That's not true.
Yes, it is. Believe me, it is. There is no great glory in being a member of the press. It's just a big machine that grinds up facts and reporters together, and when it's finished grinding them, there's nothing left. There is nothing left.
Dad, I am proud of you, and I would be proud to follow in your profession.
Dennis, if you want to follow in my profession, then you better get your facts straight. I'm a traitor, or haven't you heard?
No, you are not a traitor. Look, I don't care what anybody says. You are not a traitor, and I am going to prove that. And I don't ever want to hear you use that word again. Never! All those years, Mom was gallivanting all over the world. All I had was you. All I needed was you. Even when you left. When Mom divorced you. You were something... You were something very special in my life. You, Dad. You were a beautiful dream of what a man and his family ought to be. I'm not going to let anyone destroy that. Not Iris! Not Paige. Not even you.
Okay, now, if anybody comes in here, just pretend we're talking about your career, all right?
Okay. Look, maybe I can help you with your plan. But, Billy Joe, I don't think you could do it by yourself.
I ain't in it on myself, or by myself. I went to the cops. You know that Detective Donovan? The guy who held me for murdering Alice Wheeler? Well, I went to see him.
Billy Joe, you hate the police.
Well, he's the only guy I know who's got that kind of clout or muscle I need to deal with Shaw.
Well, what happens if something goes wrong?
Nothing's gonna go wrong. Now listen, today I introduced Bernie to a bunch of these undercover policewomen, you know? And, well, you know, he believes they're hookers, so he put them in the next porno film they're gonna do.
Oh, I don't like this, Billy Joe.
Well, this is the best part, you see? Bernie and Shaw are gonna be at the porno studio at 1:30. And that's exactly when the Fuzz are gonna bust the place.
Wait a minute. Did Bernie give you the address of the studio?
Oh, no.
police going to be able to raid a place if
No, it's all been worked out, see? I mean, all the police women, they got these microphones in their purses. It's just like TV, you know? And the police are going to pick up the signal. It's going to lead them right to the front door of the studio.
Joe, what happens if something goes wrong? The microphones might
No, nothing's going to go wrong, darling. Nothing's going to go wrong. Just like I tell you, it's all been figured out and worked out. Now, I told you all this stuff so you wouldn't get nervous and fall apart. Look at you.
I can't help but be nervous, Billy Joe.
I'll tell you something, darling. Don't be nervous. Now, you know, trust is a mutual thing, and I don't want you to go telling this to another soul. You hear me? Not another person.
I won't.
Good. Now, all you got to do is stop worrying and you start rehearsing. Because after 1:30 tonight, I'm going to be devoting 24 hours a day to managing you.
Why, Mrs. Carrington, how nice.
Got to stop doing this to me, Chris.
What?
Showing up here. I have a business to run.
So do I, Mrs. Carrington, and that's exactly why I'm here. Won't you join me for a drink?
I haven't the time.
I think you do. I also think that you haven't got a choice.
Don, will you take the reservation desk for me for a minute? Now, what's all this about, huh?
2 vodka martinis, please. Very dry, with a twist. You know, I was really very hurt when you didn't get in touch with me.
I didn't know where to reach you.
I gave you my card.
Well, then I guess I lost it, didn't I? Besides, I had no reason to call.
I think you had a reason. There was a little matter of some unfinished business between us. The matter of the money that you were going to raise so that I can produce another film for you to star in.
You're right. Thank you. I told you, Chris. I tried to get the money, but I couldn't manage it.
I thought you said you had another source.
I thought I did, but it didn't work out.
Now that's a pity.
Yes, it is. But I don't have time to discuss it with you right now. Dennis is about to meet me here, and I don't want him to find us together.
You know, Paige, I get the distinct impression that you're ashamed of our friendship.
That's putting it mildly.
I can't imagine why.
Because you may be unaware of it, darling, but you happen to have a reputation.
But it's nothing to the reputation that you could have if I start screening your little epic. You know the film I ran for you the other night? You know, now that I think about it, I could make an awful lot of money on that film. Yes. Yes, indeed. Endless Passion would be a big hit in Houston, wouldn't it? Especially with a certain audience.
You wouldn't dare.
Try me.
I have to have time, Chris.
For what?
To work this out.
You know, you surprised me, Mrs. Carrington. For a moment there, I thought I saw a shred of real concern for someone other than yourself. Now, don't tell me you've gone and fallen in love with your husband. How unlike you, Paige, and how very, very foolish.
Chris, please. Please leave Dennis out of this. There is no reason to punish him for my past stupidity.
That's very noble, but it's not bankable. Now, if we can't get the money from your Mr. Carrington, perhaps I'd just better change my plan of attack.
What are you talking about?
You know, there might just be another way for you to earn that money, Paige.